So good morning, everyone, and thank you for showing up, for joining. So let's begin with posture. As we know by now, the aim of sitting in a comfortable posture is to sit in a position of stability. When we ground our bodies, our mind it's also easier for our mind to follow suit. So if we're sitting on a chair, we can place our feet firmly on the ground. Our back can be upright, maybe moving a little bit away from the backrest of the chair. And if we're sitting on the floor, we could sit cross-legged maybe, if that's comfortable. Our hip bones can be, or our butt bones rather, can be supported by a cushion, a little elevated, so that the weight doesn't come on our knees or our thighs or our back. Shoulders pulled up, back straight, chest open to the world. And our hands can be resting on our laps, right hand on top of the left with our thumbs touching. And let's gently close our eyes and take a few breaths to settle into this posture. As we feel more settled, we can do a few breathing exercises to clear our nostrils. As mentioned in an earlier session, this breathing practice is called a special breathing practice in a book by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who says, who actually recommends doing this as part of our setup for meditation to remove any discomfort or distress that may be there in our breathing passages. And in fact, in the book, How to See Yourself as You Really Are by His Holiness, he even recommends using the exhalation of the breath in this practice to remove any negative energies or buildup of destructive emotions or energies that may have happened. So some of you know how to do this already. We can close our right nostril with our thumb and breathe in through our left, slowly. Close our left nostril and breathe out through our right. And we'll do this 3 times. So let's begin. Close your right nostril and breathe in through your left. Close your left nostril and breathe out through your right. Close your right nostril, breathe in through your left. Close your left nostril and we can breathe out through our right. One more time. Close your right nostril, breathe in through your left. Close your left nostril, breathe out through your right. Now let's do the same on the other side. So We close our left nostril and breathe in through the right. Close the right nostril and breathe out through the left. Slow inhalations and exhalations. 2 more times. Close your left nostril, inhale through your right. Close the right nostril, exhale through the left. One more time. Close the left nostril and inhale through the right. Close the right nostril, exhale through the left. We can place our hands back in our laps and take 3 conscious breaths through both our nostrils and really settle into the posture. Prepare ourselves for the next 20-25 minutes of Shamatha practice. Take a few seconds to do this. Now slowly moving into the motivation for this session. I think today it would be nice to focus on a motivation that derives from one of the aspects of our posture, which is the chest open to the world. When we sit, it's usually recommended that our shoulders are pulled back and our chest is wide and open to the world, signifying a sort of loving embrace, if you will, an openness to engage with the world, to meet, to shake hands, if you will, with everything and everyone that comes our way. To shake hands, to acknowledge, to allow. And when I was thinking about this a few minutes before the session started, it occurred to me, well, there were some lovely birds outside the window with these wild calls and so many different sounds. You may still hear some of them. And it occurred to me that I was reminded of the words of Mary Oliver's poem, "The peace of wild things," she says, who do not tax themselves with forethoughts of grief. The peace of wild things. And it was quite calming for me to think of how birds or even trees, if we observe them over the course of the day, we see a tree standing in one place, but if the wind blows, its leaves move. It it never, just sort of tries to resist the wind or stand its ground no matter what happens around it. No. When there's a hurricane, the tree bends even lower. When there's a storm, it shakes with the force of the winds, and there's a certain beauty maybe to this, to when we allow ourselves to, when we acknowledge rather our humanness, our um, how we are or how we can be um, affected by the things that are in our environment. And in the practice of shamatha, what we try to do is not let it affect our mind, not be disturbed by the disturbances, but still acknowledge that yes, there is a big gale force wind, and perhaps the best thing to do when a storm comes is to, you know, let the storm blow over you, or if there's a big wind to flow in that direction. But even as we acknowledge the reality of the world that we live in, we try to cultivate a mind that is not disturbed by disturbances. And I don't know, maybe then somehow we come into the peace of wild things, as Mary Oliver says. So maybe thinking of these few thoughts as our motivation, we can slowly shift to the breath, which will be the object of our meditation today. Wherever we feel it the most, in our bellies, as it rises and falls with the inhale and exhale, maybe in our chest, or maybe at the tip of our nostrils. Wherever we can feel it, let's keep our attention on the part we feel it the most. Mine is going to be at the belly. And let's focus on that part for the next 20-25 minutes. If our attention wanders, we can gently bring it back as many times as we need to the anchor, our breath. And we can keep in mind our, our motivation, which is to have our chests open to the world, allowing ourselves to be moved by the world, but not disturbed by the world. The peace of wild things. we can slowly open our eyes. Become aware of our surroundings. And before we end this session, we'll end with a dedication, praying for we dedicate all the positive energies gathered in this practice and we offer them as a supplication for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, who is the co-founder of Tushita Delhi and all the Tushita centers, the co-founder of the Foundation for the Preservation of the Mahayana Tradition, FPMT centers. He passed away a few days ago, and we pray for his swift return. So thank you all very much for joining, and see you tomorrow.